Hey, I'm Kyle. This is my van. It's a Ram ProMaster 1500. It's the 136 model, high roof. It's got about 81,000 miles on it currently. I spent the last year or so traveling out of this thing and I love it. Everything you see in here I did myself. I bought this van, it was just bare metal. I converted everything one step at a time. I'm really happy with how it turned out. And I should give credit to my stepdad, who is a contractor 40 years, who did help me with the electrical, and obviously I was picking his brain a lot while I was doing it. So yeah, let's just get into it and I'll show you around. So I'll work my way front to back, I guess. I did install a swivel seat, which I highly recommend if you ever do a van conversion. So you just flip that up, swivel her around, locks into place, and you got way more room in here now. So this is a super nice feature. I know a lot of people do conversions, highly recommend this. I would too. Working our way back. This is a DC powered fridge. Keeps everything really cold, runs directly off the batteries I have in the back. Lots of room in here, and you can adjust the temperature on here. It's pretty hot out today, and I just turned it on before this because I haven't been using it. So it's already down to 41 degrees, so that's cool. No pun intended. Got some storage space up here, so you can put whatever you want up here, but right now I just have the window covers up here. So I have covers for the 3 front windows if I'm ever stopped anywhere and I want some privacy. You can put those in, or if it's really hot out and you want to reflect some of that sunlight so it doesn't get too hot in here. Okay, onto this section. I do have 2 different light switches, one set for under the kitchen here, and they're both on dimmers, so you can dim these lights, which is nice. The other one is for the whole van, which is right here. So off, on, you can dim these. Then we got just a DC plug here, so if you have anything you want to plug in here, you can do that. Stove runs off a 12-pound propane tank. Fire that up for you. So if you ever want to do any cooking in here, obviously open the window and turn the fan on. So I installed this window here, which is super nice. If I'm ever cooking, just open that up and then turn the fan on, and then you can get some air circulation in here. And then for safety purposes, while I'm talking about propane, I installed a carbon monoxide and propane detector here. So if there's ever any high levels of fumes in here, that'll go off. So just a nice safety feature. This is the water pump, so that turns the water pump off. This turns it on, and that's how you run water in the sink, which is sweet. Go down here and show you the gray tank setup we got. So down in here, got a 10-gallon gray tank, and I just have some treatment here to keep it from smelling, which works great. And then the 12-pound propane tank. I traveled in this thing for a year and cooked twice a day and only had to refill that once. So plenty of propane. Down here, I just installed a quick access panel to get at the water pump. The water pump is right behind here. So if you did ever have an issue, you have an easy way to access that. It's worked great for me ever since I installed it, so I've never had to open that panel. And then just some storage. The bench is obviously a good way to get up into the bed. This is a nice foam bed. There's 3 layers of foam here. So super comfy bed. It's about full size. I'm 6'2" and I fit all the way across. So I love that bed. These are the upper cabinets I installed. So I've got some, I don't know if it's hydraulic hinges here, so that holds them up and then also holds them shut. So that's super nice for keeping your dishes and whatever else you need to keep up there. And then these are just slidable doors here. So you just pop this up and that slides open. So more storage space. And I just installed these hooks to make sure while you're driving they're not moving around or bouncing around. And then just a couple drawers in here. I installed a drain here. So this is the pipe. I just keep it up here just to keep it out of the way. But it's just got an on-off nozzle to drain it. You just open this. And I installed a hatch down here, which once we get around to it, I can open that for you and show you. But it's just a key hatch. Opens up. You can pull the pipe out. Drain the gray tank. So onto the back storage area. Got a 33-gallon freshwater tank. 2 ways to fill it. This is your standard fill. This just unscrews here. And then if you got a filter on a hose, which I just use a standard RV filter on a garden hose, and you can fill that there. This is just the air vent to make sure the tank doesn't explode by pressure when you turn the water pump on. And then I got another fill here. So another way to fill it is just directly hooking a garden hose right up to this, open it, and you can fill the tank that way as well. And this also doubles as a drain if you ever need to drain the fresh water. Same thing, hook a garden hose up to it, open it up, drain all the water out. I do have a standalone toilet that I've never once used, so it's basically brand new. But if you ever do have an emergency, you got that to use if you absolutely need it. Onto the electrical system. So I have 400-watt solar panels on the roof and 3 140 amp hour AGM batteries. So it's a significantly large system. The big box you're looking at right now, it's a 3,000 watt inverter charger. So the minimum system is actually 400 watt panels and I believe 300 amp hours. So this thing can handle, if you did want to expand the system, which I don't know why you ever would because it's a huge system, but you could with this inverter. This is the solar charge controller. So this basically handles all the solar power coming into the system, and you can check its status by looking at the screen here and make sure everything's working the way it's supposed to work. This turns on and off the entire system, so it's the master switch to turn off all the electrical. And then there's also another switch that I've hidden under the bed up here that's just for turning off power to the solar system. So it's actually in the wall there. If you wanted to, you could just move the mattress and shut just the solar off and keep everything else on if you ever needed to do that. And I got a fuse box here for all the fuses. So if you ever blow a fuse, you can switch that out. In the year I traveled, I never blew a fuse, but that's there if you need it. And I installed some heavy duty, really big drawers here for storage. These are rated up to 500 pounds. So I don't think you're ever gonna put anything in here that's gonna cause a problem. So those are super nice. Yeah, and then we got just some hooks and stuff. Ooh, a mosquito got me. We got some hooks for hanging coats or whatever you need to hang. Oh yeah, shower. Oh yeah. So I hooked another water line up that comes back here. So you can take like makeshift showers back here, which is super nice. Yeah, and then shore power cord, which I can show you now. So they charge 3 different ways. They charge from the solar. You can hook them directly up to any plug-in. The cord I have converts, so I think it's like what, 30 amp, 15 amp. Hook up to the and charge the batteries that way. In the year I traveled out of this van, I never had to use that. The solar did plenty, but it's an option. And then the third way the batteries charge is anytime you drive, it's also hooked up to the alternator. So when you're driving, that's charging the batteries too. All right, we got, do we want to show the top?
Sure. If you want to don't mind again.
So up top here, we got a conduit carrier here. This is just for storage. I keep my fishing poles in here. And then we got the 4 solar panels, max air fan, everything's sealed with RV marine sealant. So make sure we don't ever have to worry about leaks. And then we got this panel here that I talked about before, which is how you drain the gray water. Just a key, stick the key in, open her up, pull that hose out, open it up and you can drain it. This window is pretty well tinted, so you actually can see in there now because all the lights are on. If the lights were off, you wouldn't be able to see in here, but that's why I added the curtains. So if you're ever in here at night, you can put those window covers on, shut the curtains, and it's completely blackout dark. You can't see in there. You want to take a quick look inside here. It's just your standard front of the van. It's all stock stuff. And yeah, that's basically it. That's my van.